Hi guys, HT625MA here, and in this video I would like to talk about the compact collective, the first complete collective lever kit in SimShare Mark IV line, and the VRMaxII pedestal device that I've just finished working on, hardware and software wise. Also, I'd like to show you the Mark IV controller and talk a bit about it. So in the first short part of the video we'll be reviewing main functions of the lever, and then we will go on with the I will show you how it all works in the simulator. So we have some cool features in this kit. This is a generic kit that will suit for pretty much everyone. So the cool thing about it is that it's a lightweight lever. So this part is lightened as much as possible to make possible using this lever with the motion platforms. As you can see, it holds perfectly even without the counterweight, and the pneumatic mode. So basically, you can use it like this without any additional stuff like pneumatic mode, or it doesn't need anything. It works great by itself. It's the most compact version of the lever. However, for the best experience, I would recommend using the pneumatic mode, which in the case of this lever can be used without its counterweight. So basically the whole thing is just this. So it's still very compact and very convenient thing. So let's talk about some cool features of this lever itself. It consists of the Mark IV base, the throttle, single throttle body, and the integrated compact head. This thing is actually a throttle frame part 2 of the lever body, so that's what allowed to make it really lightweight. Lightweight yet rich with functions. It has the same number of buttons as the Hue head, plus this little switch. It's a mode switch. It now works. I've added its support to the software. So the cool thing is that all the switches are tripled. So in the middle position, it's one set of joystick buttons, and this third position, it's all mapped to another set of joystick buttons, and here's the third one. So it's really cool. Also, yesterday I've added some nice software filtering for all secondary axes driven by potentiometers. This filtering totally eliminates any jitter. It basically digitizes the axis. So I will show you how it works in the second part of the video. It's pretty cool. It basically kills any jitter, and you don't really lose any precision of the axis. Especially usable for the view axis here on the pedestal. So this lever is intended to be mounted at 30 degrees. Unlike the Mark III levers that were mounted like this, Mark IV levers are mounted like this, because you can go on with using even heavier heads without the counterweight if they think it mounted at 30 degrees. So this is pretty much all I have to say about the lever. we'll look at how it works in a few minutes. Then let's talk about the new pedestal device here. So basically, it's the same simple pedestal. You can see this part of it is basically a simple pedestal, but it has a radial panel extension on it. So you can still use all your knobs in the cockpit. You can still control them with the mouse replacement simple pedestal thingy. But if you have some knobs that are not really comfortable to look at while flying, like they may be situated somewhere like on the overhead panel or somewhere on the pedestal on the cockpit. So you can just assign them to these knobs, or like if you use radials a lot, if you fly on LED sim, this panel you should really love it. So what differs it from VRMaxII collective head is that unlike the VRMax collective head, it uses this very nice rotary switch. And the rotary switch is really cool because you can feel where it points. Actually, you can tell the exact position of it just by touching it, and it's very convenient. This switch has 8 positions, so we have 2 joystick buttons assigned to each knob, obviously left and right turn. And this thing multiplies these buttons by 8. So we have 8 sets of 10 buttons here. It's 4 knobs plus 2 push buttons. So 10 buttons and 8 switch positions, 80 buttons. I found myself using like 5 sets for the radial panel for everything I could think of without touching this stuff at all in 407. So this little thing really extends the possibilities of the pedestal. I would recommend it if you use radials a lot, rather than the simple pedestal. Although they all are great, a little addition to the lever. So the cool thing about this pedestal, and I have added this functionality to this one as well. These 4 switches are actually affected by this mode switch. So not only the switches, but all of the buttons of simple pedestal thingy. So now you have like 8 buttons per set, so 24 buttons plus all the buttons that you don't use for special functions. Like this is usually the left mouse button by default, and this one switches the speed for mouse pointer. So other buttons are all tripod. It's cool. So as you can see, this little device is actually really, it has a lot of functions. So in a few moments we will be looking at this lever in action. But I would like to talk about the new controller, just say a few words about it. So it's a really nice little enclosure that it's more compact than the Mark III version. It has 4 slots in it, which is cool. It has an easy access to the reset button, because you need it sometimes if you flash it with the wrong firmware or will make some mistakes while configuring it. Sometimes it needs to be pressed and reflashed. So with this reset button, it's not a problem anymore. You wouldn't have to disassemble anything. And the socket for USB cable. I've redesigned it a bit to look better. If you take, for example, an IKEA USB cable, it's called Lilhout or something, I'm not sure. We can just plug it here and look how nice it fits. So not a huge gap between the cable and. So that's pretty much it. I like this device a lot. Let's see how it works in the simulator.
So guys, this is the second part of the video in which I will show the new Mark IV hardware in action, especially the VRMaxII pedestal. At first I will show you how everything works on the ground, and then we'll make a short flight. So I will also show how you can use non-moving map in VR for those of us who likes it. So at first let's untie our blades. Yeah. Then I will connect the GPU. Yeah. So I did it so I can show you guys how radios work without starting the helicopter.
Ken Jenstedt field weather. Wind calm.
Okay, so let's talk about button assignments at first. So here we can see the radio panel. So I have it mapped in the following way. So the central position of this rotary selector switch corresponds to COM1 and NAV1 radios. So this radio, the COM radio, is controlled with this knob. It's the standby knob, the standby frequency of this radio. This is coarse knob, this is fine knob. This is flip, active standby frequency button. So same thing with nav radio, so you can change it with these knobs. So this is COM and nav1. This is nav2 and OBS. Here we have nav2. Oh, sorry, COM2. So here we have OBS radio selection knob. So the simple pedestal part acts as usual, except for now we can select its function with mode switch. So I will be using buttons assigned to the first position, to the leftmost position of the mode switch. So I will use the first set of buttons. I have these buttons assigned to the radio panel. You can see that this is COM1 enable, COM2 enable, actually toggle nav1, nav1 disable, nav2 disable. We don't have nav2 in this helicopter, so okay. So the next position is for transponder, so I can actually turn it on with this button. Should go to altimeter, to mode C. So I can set my squawk code. We'll set 1200 for VFR flight. This button is assigned to ident button. So these buttons are just ordinary joystick button sets. So that's it. So here I have my Avitab, which is absolutely an epic tool that allows for using using non-moving maps and PDF charts like this VFR sectional chart. So first thing I want to do, I want to tune the AVOS of the Forest 2 Ken Jenstedt airport where we're sitting in our helicopter. So it's 134 decimal 37, 13437. Okay, so we'll use our radio panel for this. So okay, and we can turn the COM1 audio with
Ken Jenstedt field weather.
this switch.
Wind calm. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 13. Dew point -14. Altimeter 2992.
Okay, so we can then set altimeter. I use the VRMaxII part, or I use the simple pedestal part for setting altimeter because digits here are really too small to see them in like from here anyway, so at least at resolution of my headset. So we will set them like this. Okay, so now we want to set our VOR. I would like to fly from here to Columbia Gorge Regional Airport to Klickitat VOR, and then I would like to turn from here. After I will pass the Klickitat VOR, I will turn 092 heading 092 to get to Wasco State 35 Sierra. So Wasco State does not have its own AVOS, and we'll need our we'll need AVOS when we will be approaching the airport. So let's tune the Columbia Gorge basis. At 13517 we'll tune our COM2. So I'm switching to COM2.
Columbia Gorge RGNL the Dalles Muni weather.
Okay, so we can hear it as well. Now let's tune our Klickitat VOR. It's 112.3. Back to NEFCOM, NEFCOM1, and sorry, what's the frequency again? It's 112.3. Yeah. Okay, so I would like to hear its code, and we can compare it with our map. Yeah, the code is correct, so we can now be sure that we are tuned to correct VOR. So now we want to select the radio. We want 060. Yeah, we're almost there, so I am selecting F2 position, and then I can turn my OBS knob. So yeah, I set it to 060, and that's it. We have everything sorted, so we can actually start the helicopter. Okay, so position lights on, and all right. generator on. We can now turn off the ground power. Okay, so we'll skip the warm-up. So if all of this was happening in VRMaxII, we would have contacted the tuned the Unicom frequency, which is 122.80. So let's do just that. COM2. I will do it with my radio panel. So and then we can say that we're taking off and departing heading 060. So let's imagine we've done it, because we're not connected at the moment, so that's just an excuse for using our radios. Okay, we're ready for takeoff, and yeah, okay. So at this point we can say that hello Charlie, 625 Mike Alpha is taken off from runway 7 on Unicom frequency. Please be advised, whoever is listening. So we will intercept our 060 radio to our VOR. Okay, so actually if we look at our map, we can see that the VOR is on top of this mountain ahead. So we will need to climb a bit. So as you can see, flying without the moving map is actually quite fun, because you know you have to look around. You can use visual landmarks, like for example Columbia River, to navigate, but also navigates like VORs and stuff like that. It's cool. It's much more fun than just seeing your position needle on the map. Okay, so now we are on our radio and can turn. Of course, I know this area like my backyard, but I just want to show how you can use radios in relatively short flight. Let's speed up a little. So I can use 4-stream system to get my stick to most comfortable position. I can see that the collective holds nicely without the counterweight, so you can see that the needle of VOR indicator deviates, more noticeably when we're getting closer to VOR, which should be right on top of this mountain. Here we can actually see it if we zoom it a bit. So after we pass it, we want to go 0, 9 or 2. So I will switch to nav2 and adjust my something like this, and here is our beacon. Okay, so we will start our descent after we will pass this mountain ahead. As you can see, the other bank of the river is much more flat. So as we are approaching the airport, we can listen to our ASUS.
Columbia Gorge RGNL The Dalles Muni weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 14, dew point -14. Altimeter 2992.
So we don't need to change anything. So now we have it tuned already. We have done it on the ground. So all I had to do was to turn the audio on. Right, I think we can now start our descent. Slow down a bit. tripod.
Columbia Gorge RGNL The Dalles Muni weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 14, dew point -14. Altimeter 2992.
So we don't need to change anything. Okay. So as you guys see, we have successfully completed our flight from Forest to Ken Jenstedt Airfield to Wasco State 35 Sierra without touching the mouse. We have looked at the map. We have worked with our radials, and I have used our VRMaxII pedestal. I have used our mouse replacement part of it. We have used our radio panel. We have used our collective. So I should say I really like how it behaves. It's very comfortable to use, it's ergonomic. I have no problem reaching anything in VR. I have no problem understanding in what position this thing is. So it's very good. I think I really like it. So we can, like, I don't know, we can use our water brake with our simple pedestal part. As you can see, I have no problem with it. Okay, so yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you like Simchair, new Simchair stuff. It has a lot of wider range of functions than the Mark III set had. So I think it's quite an interesting device, especially the new pedestal thingy. So thanks for watching. See you on my site hc625ma.org. If I did something wrong with this flight, please write in comments what I have done wrong, because I'm not a real world pilot, so my knowledge of aviation laws is next to none. And the point of this video actually was to show you radios and stuff, so but some procedures might be incorrect. Like, for example, we haven't contacted the we haven't announced our arrival on Unicom frequency, although we should have done it, and stuff like that. But we were flying offline, so yeah, I guess it's okay. Anyway, you have seen that the sync may be quite useful, and that's the main idea of this video. Thanks, guys. Bye.